Good morning. I want to thank everyone for joining us here today. We're here this morning to announce the opening of additional vaccine access locations for the community, and in particular for some of those hardest hit communities and some of those most difficult to reach. I want to say a special thank you to San Diego State University. We're here on their campus at the Viejas Arena to outline plans for turning this into an additional location that can serve the community of San Diego. This arena that we are standing in right now has showcased thrilling games, events, graduations, world-class activities and concerts. And beginning now, it will showcase the care, compassion, and commitment we have for protecting our neighbors. It will showcase our community coming together to administer vaccines in an equitable way and will help pave the pathway for our recovery. Starting tomorrow, Tuesday, March 23rd at 9:30 a.m., this site will be open until 3:30, and then every Tuesday through Saturday from 9 a.m. until 3:30 p.m. afterwards. This site initially will have 200 appointments available, and then we'll ramp up to 750 as more vaccines become available. And then as availability of vaccines increases, we can scale this to do 1,500 vaccinations a day. For their partnership support and being here, I want to thank Andrea Dooley, Associate Vice President for Health, Wellbeing, and Accessibility for San Diego State University. I want to thank Rama Awad, who is here representing the San Diego Refugee Community Coalition, and Nejla Ibrahim of Somali Family Services of San Diego, who are all in partnership together to help this site. The county's longstanding relationship, health partnership with San Diego State University expanded in May of 2020 to use community health workers trained by the university's public health department to help reach our most vulnerable populations. This was true in the early days of the pandemic, the relationship between the county and San Diego State and public health workers to get folks engaged, primarily at that time around issues of testing and accessibility into services, connection to public health motel rooms, income replacement funds. But this partnership is continuing to grow as we evolve through and work through our COVID response. The opening of a robust vaccination site at this well-known location offers an important expansion of our ability to not only administer vaccines, but to ensure an equity-based focus to make sure that communities that have been historically left behind, not engaged, not had unique plans and processes in place to ensure their access to public health. Those are some of the challenges that we are working in partnership with at this location to help address. Now, this site will be open to the broader community, and vaccine appointments for this location, pending availability of supply, will be accessible through the county's website. But in addition to that, 10% of the appointments at this site will be set aside for Project SAVE. This has been a successful program engaging with community-based organizations to reach those hardest to hit communities and ensure they have direct access into the system. Project SAVE, Scheduling Assistance for Vaccine Equity, is a program we created some time ago to make sure that appointments were available for folks who are eligible and high risk but might have a more difficult time scheduling an appointment via the online portal. Maybe they don't have a computer to access appointments. Maybe they work at a job where it's not an option for them to sit and hit refresh all day long. Or perhaps they're in a community that needs some direct engagement from someone who is culturally competent, someone who knows their community, speaks the language, can answer questions and address issues and walk folks through the vital public health importance of getting a vaccine. Over the weekend, our community health workers were given 95 appointments to fill at this site for Tuesday, and we will continue to make more appointments available for Project SAVE on a rolling basis as we move forward. We want to focus on those zip codes that are hardest to hit. And again, this site will be available, appointments will be available to the broader community, anyone available based on eligibility, but we will be dedicating and holding back sites for some of those hardest hit communities. This is not the only site that is doing that. Some of the others providing vaccines in the hardest hit neighborhoods, in particular 92105 and 92115 zip codes, include City Heights Family Health Center, La Maestra Community Centers, and Alliance Healthcare. Pharmacies are also available throughout the region, including in some of the hardest hit efforts, and we appreciate Rite Aid, CVS, Vons, and Albertsons for their efforts as a part of this. Again, they get a direct federal allocation. And I also want to thank the Copley Price YMCA. As the YMCA reopens, we will continue to be vaccination partners, offering appointments initially on Fridays and Mondays at the Copley Price YMCA, and hopefully more days into the future. Additionally, 10% of the appointments at Copley Price will also be set aside for Project SAFE. So again, this is not a site just for San Diego State University faculty, staff, and students. This is a broader community site available to all with a focus and prioritization and dedication of sites for those communities that have been hardest to reach. This is another part of our broad network of testing vaccination sites throughout San Diego County. And while we still await significant increases in the supply of vaccine, we do believe that that will happen soon. And when it does, we have tremendous capacity within our existing network to really ramp up as soon as supplies ramp up. Now, I believe, are more than 30 locations, county-administered sites throughout San Diego County. I want you to hear from a couple of the folks who are going to be involved in doing this, and I'd like to start off with Andrea Dooley, Associate Vice President for Health, Wellbeing, and Accessibility with Sdsu's Division of Student Affairs and Campus Diversity. And I want to say a special thank you to San Diego State University. Throughout this entire COVID response, SDSU has been our partner. They've been our ally, and we could not have responded as we have without wonderful institutions like the one we are now, being willing to roll up their sleeves and do whatever is needed as we come together to respond.